Canadian politics and the architecture of elite control, a system hijacked like the UK, France, and beyond. For decades, Canadians were taught to see their country as a quiet outpost of democratic stability, a nation immune to the corruption, oligarchic maneuvering, and institutional capture that plague other Western states. But beneath this image lies a far more complex reality. Canada's political system, like those in the UK, France, and much of the Western world, has been steadily absorbed into a global network of financial elites, technocrats, and geopolitical power brokers. The rise of the technocrats. Mark Carney as the prototype. Mark Carney is the perfect symbol of this shift. His career path, Bank of Canada, Bank of England, UN climate czar, and now a potential political savior fabricated by media elites, is not random. It reflects a new class of political actors who operate above national identity, above electoral accountability, and above public scrutiny. Carney represents the transnational technocracy that has replaced democratic decision-making with financial engineering and global governance frameworks. He does not derive his authority from Canadian voters. He derives it from the central banking elite, major investment institutions, multinational corporations, and global policy networks like the World Economic Forum. This is not conspiracy. It is documented political reality. China's ascension and Western power structures. The meteoric rise of China over the last 20 years is often portrayed as an organic national miracle. In reality, it was the result of deliberate decisions made by Western financial elites, multinational corporations, and global institutions seeking cheap labor, high returns, and a new frontier for capital. China became the world's factory because Western power structures wanted it that way. Global banks opened unprecedented credit channels. Western corporations offshored manufacturing at scale. Financial institutions invested heavily in China's expansion. Political leaders justified dependency under the banner of globalization. This was engineered, not accidental. Mark Carney and other Western technocrats operated in an environment where China's rise was considered an essential pillar of the global economic order, not a threat to it. The Canadian connection, Trudeau and the global governance class. Justin Trudeau did not build his political network within Canada. His support structure is far more international. Global philanthropic foundations, climate finance institutions, transnational policy groups, foreign investment interests, international political consultancies, intelligence and diplomatic networks tied to Washington, London, and Brussels. Canada's federal politics increasingly mirrors that of Europe. Leaders selected not by citizens, but by global networks seeking compliant managers of a pre-designed system. This is why Trudeau, Carney, Chrystia Freeland, and others appear interchangeable with European and British elites. They are part of the same managerial class. Why the connection between Carney, China, and Trudeau is not subtle. Once you zoom out, the pattern becomes obvious. All three operate within the same system of supranational financial governance. All rely on international institutions rather than national constituencies. All promote economic and political frameworks that erode national sovereignty. All are aligned with global financial interests that transcend borders. Canada is no longer governed primarily from Ottawa. It is governed through a matrix of global financial, bureaucratic, and political power centers that dictate the country's trajectory. Canada is not an exception, it is the rule. The same elite networks shape. The UK through the City of London. France through its centralized technocracy. The EU through unelected commissioners. The US through Wall Street, think tanks, and security agencies. Canada, far from being independent, is another node in this architecture. Conclusion: see the system, not the actors. The issue is not Mark Carney alone. It is the system that produces Carneys, a system where power flows upward, away from citizens. Elections become ceremonial legitimization rituals. Financial elites replace public oversight. National leaders act as managers, not representatives. Canada, like the UK, France, and much of the Western world, has been absorbed by a globalized political financial structure that transcends democracy itself. Until people recognize this reality, they will continue mistaking the actors for the architects, when the real power lies in the invisible networks behind them.